Hi there, I'm Martha Van Dam, and this is Living Beyond. Do you ever have times in your life where you just feel kind of in a slump? Maybe you're even in one right now, but things just aren't real exciting. Maybe you have a hard time grabbing hold of that joy and satisfaction that you'd like to have in your life. Those kinds of feelings, those little time periods in our life, they're so normal and they do come and go. So if you're having one, I want to encourage you. That doesn't mean there's something horribly wrong with you, but I'd like to give you today 5 things that you could just look at if you find that you're in one of those slump kind of places, and you can look at and think, well, maybe I could work on one of these 5 things and they would sort of help right now while I'm in this little slump time. So the first one, when we're trying to increase joy and satisfaction in our life, is to really pay attention to how much we're allowing ourselves to notice and be grateful for the lovely things in our life. And they don't have to be huge things. I do not necessarily, although they can be, but I don't necessarily mean you got the great job, or you got the great contract, or you finally got pregnant, or the baby was born, or you fell in love. They don't have to be those things. Things that can bring us gratefulness when we increase our ability to recognize the good things and to feed our gratitude. They can be very small things, like the weather holds off just before an event that you're trying to do, and it makes you don't have to fight the rain, or something you've been working on, you finally come up with a solution, or you go outside on the way to the car to or from work, and you notice that plant is really in bloom and it's extra specially beautiful. It just catches your eye. If we will allow ourselves, we can feel the gratitude in those moments. So, the number one thing on my list of 5 is for you to cultivate gratitude in your life. I think the best way of helping your brain develop that habit of picking up the beautiful things around is to keep in a journal somewhere, even if it's just a notebook that you grab, but keep a journal where you literally start a list of things that you notice every day. Give yourself the challenge of, I will find 3 things I am grateful for today. So you every day have a goal of writing down 3 things, and that actually puts your mind into the place of trying to look for those things. It helps you to become more tuned in. And then once that list starts growing, another thing's happened. Since it's a written list and you've got numbers, at least I don't number all of mine all the way down the page, but at the bottom I do write the number of how many I've gotten to so far, and that number keeps growing through pages. It kind of reminds us when you have to go through pages to get to the end, even if you're not reading every one of those things again, it reminds us that there have been this large number of really beautiful things in your or my life. And so that helps as well to feed the gratitude. So cultivate gratitude. The next one is to nurture relationships. Who do you have around you that just brings you joy? It can be someone very special and precious to you, a child or a grandchild, but it also can be just a friend who is lighthearted, or a friend who always seems to be able to find the joy or the funny in something. Who do you enjoy being around, and are you growing that relationship? Perhaps something that would bring some joy and satisfaction into your life is a little bit more focus on some of those relationships. So number 2 is nurture relationships. Number 3 is pursue something that you are passionate about, something that you really enjoy. What is important to you? Do you feel really strongly about taking care of neglected animals? Maybe you'd like to go help out for just a little bit at a shelter. Do you just love children and have a compassion, especially for hurting children? Maybe you'd like to volunteer to read at one of the schools with the children, the first and second graders who may be having reading problems. How can you put yourself in the position of doing something that is very meaningful to you? And give that a little bit of thought, because you likely do have some things that are special to you. When we put some focus and energy in those things, that tends to bring us joy and satisfaction. Number 4, practice kind of 2 things here. Mindfulness, that's being tuned into what's happening around us, and self-care, which is also being tuned into how I am in the moment. So Mindfulness is being very well tuned into what's going on around you at any given moment. And that's easier said than done, because an awful lot of the times we're doing a thing, but our mind is, and mine is really bad about this. I struggle with this. My mind wants to be 2 and 3 steps ahead. And so if we are 2 and 3 steps ahead, then we're never really focused on the here and now. And when that happens, we miss the nice things. We miss the beauty. We miss the satisfaction that can be in the here and now. So that's increasing mindfulness. And then increasing self-care is, are you doing the things for yourself that your body, your mind, your emotions, your heart, your soul, your spirit, that you need in order to be staying good and healthy? That increases a sense of joy and satisfaction. So are you getting enough rest? Are you allowing yourself to eat healthful things, but also things that you enjoy? Are you getting movement? Are you getting fun movement? Like not just exercising for the sake of exercising, but doing something that you enjoy doing. So that is all encompassed with practicing mindfulness and self-care. That was number 4. And number 5, our last one, is set and pursue at least one meaningful goal. Something that is important to you that you want to work toward. Working toward a goal can give us such a sense of a feeling of purpose. I have this thing I want to be working on in my life. So there are 5 things for you to work on. You're going to cultivate and grow gratitude in your life. You're going to nurture and grow the relationships, particularly the healthy and satisfying ones around you. You're going to do something that you are passionate about, helping out with an animal shelter, some children, something that gives you something to feel like you're working on something that's important to you. You're going to practice mindfulness, being tuned into where you are, not 4 steps ahead, but tuned into where you are and taking care of yourself with self-care. And you're going to set and pursue a meaningful goal of some kind. Those 5 things, I'm not giving you a list of things to go do right now. I'm saying if you are having a difficult time feeling joy and satisfaction in your life, look through those 5 and see if there's not something that you could pick up and you could lean into, and see if that won't help with the way you feel. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week, and this weekend, work on some of those things and see if you don't feel a little better. Thanks, and I hope it's great for you. Bye-bye.